Welcome to solverfy.
So, why is it useful to have a genome sequenced? Well, let's look at an example here. So, up top, and this is just for any random gene, okay? So, suppose that we're talking about a proto-oncogene, which are genes that tell the cells when to divide appropriately. So, you would have the sequence of a normal gene. But say that we also know the sequence of the oncogene, which is the resulting, which is the result of mutating that normal gene into an oncogene, and it has these four mutations, and we know that through past experience. And a patient shows up and sequences their DNA, and in this particular proto-oncogene, they find that they have two mutations. Now, this patient knows that in this particular gene, they have two of the four required mutations to make this gene into an oncogene. So then, based on that information, they can make the necessary life choice adjustments or living habits in order to reduce the chance that they are going to gain the other two mutations. So that's why sequencing genomes is useful on one level. There's other uses, but there's just one example. So let's look at our answer choices. Whole genome sequencing is currently impossible. No, it is possible. It's getting cheaper and cheaper, but it's still a little bit expensive, but it is not impossible. Choice B helps in predicting faulty genes in diseases. That is correct. Choice C will not lead to any legal issues regarding discrimination and privacy. That is not true. There's actually a lot of concerns about that. So on two levels. First, let's talk about what happens if you have your genome sequenced. Now, you have the parent, right? And from the parent, say that the parent has their genome sequence. Their child will share 50% of the DNA with that parent. So if you know the genome of the parent, that means that you know 50%. So that's the F1 generation there. You know 50% of the genome of that second person, which is the son or the daughter. And then that means that you know 25% of the genome of the grandchild, right? So this grandchild never gave their consent to have their genome sequenced yet. Their DNA information is out there in a database now because their grandparent wanted to get their genome sequencing. So that's one level of concern about privacy. And the other one is obviously hacking, right? Because this information needs to be stored somewhere, and if it becomes publicly available, there's concerns that employers or insurance companies can use that information to selectively either hire or insure people. So that is actually quite a big concern. Choice C. So choice, so the opposite of choice C, right? Because choice C says will not lead. It actually will lead to all of these concerns. Choice D will not help make informed decisions about medical treatment, and we just saw that it absolutely is used for that. So the correct choice here is choice B. It helps in predicting faulty genes in diseases.